Good morning, YouTube again. Good morning. This is Zulu Gullah. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And this is my second WAP video, I promised y'all. And I swear on everything, my theme was going to be as it is titled now. It's just what happened between Cardi B and Candace Owens. Just materialized the vision that I had because I was gonna give you a list of what I think is real WAP and what is bad WAP. But what you have going on is finally what a lot of guys in the manosphere, Negro manosphere, red pill content, MGTOW, ADOS, SYSBM, even off grid, whatever, we've been waiting on. We've been waiting on women to go against each other. Okay. And what guys have to do is step out, take a seat back, and just watch. Because as much as I don't like Candace Owens, you know, not to take nothing from her, she's very, very smart, very articulate, uh, very well spoken, very well presented. She does represent a conservative, reserved woman, which can be that wholesome. Don't know about virtuous, but the evidence of being more likely to have less miles, to be closer to virtuosity, um, is there. But you want a better suited publicly, imagery wise female, as what you prefer. You do want that. So I give her credit where credit is due. All right. Um, I still think a lot of her views are biased. Uh, they don't come from a place of relatability and compassion and care. Now, there's nothing wrong with criticizing um, the black community or black men for mistakes and bad behavior. Everybody is due criticism, but hers tend to be extreme and tend to be one-sided. And then it's just the fact that she's married to a white man, so you kind of try to question her motives a little bit. It'd be different on one hand if she uh, shows love and compassion and then offers correction, because that's the balance. This is like being in a household between two parents or either one parent, and they give you love one second and they discipline you the next second. So I don't get that from her. I get real bias energy from her, But other than that, what I'm saying, how she presents herself as a woman, carries herself publicly, what I'm saying, I can salute that. Got no problem with that. Um, but I do love the fact that she's calling out bad representation of women in the culture. And then she's not only doing that, she's pointing out, the fact that, the intelligence as well as the behavior uh, is very ridiculous. And then we have another issue here with Cardi B. Cardi B uh, is from the Latino community, which, if you know genetics, you know geography and history, uh, Latinos do share a percentage of African in them, but they don't really identify as that. And when you go into in-depth discussions about things like that, they get offended. But of course, Cardi B, she is attached to the hip hop culture, the entertainment culture. She was in the adult industry, so she's flexible and open-minded. As far as lifestyle wise and being able to accept certain things. Of course, she's married to a black guy as well, so she identifies as black, as urban, uh, as well as Latino, especially having a biracial child. So, or a binational. I would say more binational. I wouldn't say biracial, like I said, because Latinos do have African in their ancestry. All right. So, but the thing is, we're gonna focus on her behavior, the thought behavior, the whole culture, thought culture, her recent video WAP, um, sexploitation of women, doing it voluntarily. And you know, the issue with guys is y'all get mad at us, y'all call us sexist or toxic masculinity. You want to make all these allegations against how we view and treat women, but then you do it to yourselves and it's okay. And then you wonder why we're like, well, you know, this is what we're talking about. You do it anyway, you know. And um, you know, so her and Candace are going back and forth politically, not just about the WAP itself, but about, you know, just the ridiculousness of the Democratic Party pandering, you know, playing on people's intelligence, using people of color, you know, in just demeaning ways in order to obtain votes to gain political power, you know, to win, you know, elections. And I agree with that because, as I said before, in my videos, I denounced Kamala Harris and I denounced the Democratic Party underlying strategy to push her forward as the running VP by coming up with this negotiation between black men and black women and using 100 prominent, an alleged or well, so-called 100 prominent black men names listed on this particular list as part of negotiations to represent black men across America as a whole. And I denounced that because they don't represent me and I disagree with that decision. I didn't negotiate with anybody. So, you know, and Kamala Harris is not black, not ADOS. And, you know, her track record, her and Biden's track record dealing with, you know, crime and punishment, the disparity of it, how it affected the black community. I just have no trust for them. You know, Biden's history is very extensive, you know, almost a 60-year period. You know, at one point, he was actually a racist and participated in things that involve, you know, prohibiting or blocking or trying to hinder civil rights for black people. So, you know, it's just ridiculous, you know. And I mean, I pretty much agree with Candace Owens on that particular part. She caught it dead on point, and that's what it is. Um, Now, with all that being said, now let's get to the comedy part, right? Because you know, like I said, I don't agree with everything Candace Owens does. Candace Owens does, but what I will say is Candace Owens represents the real WAP, the real WAP. You know, the freak at home, lady in the street, the real WAP. You know, and I'm making an assumption maybe Les Miles. You know, who knows? Uh, but you know, these days, the virtuous woman, the virgin, you know, it's kind of far fetched. I don't care how conservative and reserved you are, but we will take a curveball and say moderation and less miles. But Candace Owens got the real WAP. Cardi B is even though she's married, that WAP has been beat down, used up prior to her marriage. Candace Owens, less miles, more WAP. Anything reserved and conserved is better, you know, has more of a value, just like a used car, you know. And, you know, I ain't gonna go too hard on them, but yeah. So we got real WAP versus bad WAP. That's what we got going on. Other than the political and informational, integral aspect, you know, of the feud, we got real WAP versus bad WAP. And let me give you a list of some good WAP, some real WAP. And some of these ladies might be old, but you know what? Just because of how they carried themselves as ladies, you go in the class of good WAP. So we got Elsie Neal, some good WAP. Lynn Whitfield, good WAP. Candy Alexander, good WAP. The all-time Leela Rashad, good WAP. Pam Grier, good WAP. I would even say in the category of Candace Owens, an older version, Condoleezza Rice, some good WAP. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I call it like I see it. Cause me personally, ain't no simping over here. I'm red pill all day. But now, if I see some quality and I see some good WAP, you know, I'm going basically, excuse me, I'm going basically, peep it out and maybe spit some game. You feel me? Yeah. But yeah, so, the good WAP might start going against the bad WAP. Something needs to happen. Well, women on women is coming, man, because shit's getting bad, man. Women can't get married. These marriage laws and these family court laws is just deterring dudes from pursuing relationships and staying away from the bullshit. Dudes are learning a lot of different things at a rapid rate about women, and the response to it is very dramatic and very abrupt, and it has to be like that. Actually, later today, I'm gonna do that lockout video. I promised y'all. Uh, so we'll get into that. But these women are really struggling with this pandemic. They realize that all the little corporate jobs and things attached to the degrees and stuff like that has nothing to do with essential workers, the guys that actually build infrastructure and uh, jobs and stuff like that that's needed regardless. When things shut down and you still have work that's um, timeless and foolproof to certain conditions. And that's something like a lot of women missed. They were always looking for this, corporate type guy, high ranking guy, office type guy, suit and type guy. The hard head, calloused hand, hard knuckle guy. Missed their radar, but these guys haven't missed a beat. Blue collar guys. I'm one of these blue collar guys. So I'd rather not even be bothered right now, honestly, because my stream of income is steady. I haven't missed a beat. I'm gonna keep going. As soon as I bring in another mouth to feed or go on dates and all that old stuff like that, I'm gonna make it hard for myself, especially if they're not bringing nothing to the table. So uh, it's because of that. Guys just have to take a step back and just focus on themselves and let these women duke it out, because these women are gonna start duking it out, because when they don't have the things coming from men that they need and they can't go to their jobs, and then they can't even get attention, let alone money and resources and taken care of from a man, based on the fact that the climate that they created uh, is very adverse to men and very detrimental to men. Then the other women are going to finally say, hey, look, y'all caused this. Y'all behavior, y'all quest for power, y'all influence on legislation and different programs and stuff like that to benefit women, and how you treated men and used men and disregarded men, and only went after a small group of particular men that's impossible to you know encompass the amount of women that already outnumbers men. The women are going to start fighting, and the bad women are going to get called out. So fellas, just hang loose, hang tight. Good WAP will come back, and good WAP will win. But you just play it cool. You know what I'm saying? Just take a seat back, step back, and let them do their thing. All right, man, I'm out. I appreciate y'all. And like I said, I'll do that lockout video later today. Thank y'all. Have a good day.